was in December 2020 when I first rode the Suzuki Gixxer 250 BS6, and that motorcycle was quite impressive. So obviously when I was asked to review this, the Suzuki V-Strom SX, I was quite excited. After all, this motorcycle uses the same engine, is built around a similar chassis, and it uses similar hardware as the Gixxer 250. Welcome to BikeWale. My name is Suval Suswirkar, and in this video I tell you 5 things that I like about the new Suzuki V-Strom SX and 2 that I don't. I'll also tell you if this motorcycle deserves a near 40,000 rupee premium over its naked roadster sibling, the Gixxer 250, and if it is a worthy opponent to the Royal Enfield Himalayan that retails in a similar price tag. The first thing that you would notice about this motorcycle is its tall stance as compared to the Gixxer 250. It also packs more meat as compared to the Gixxer 250, all thanks to this semi-fairing design and this tall windscreen. Then there's the ADV inspired styling that brings a beak style front fender, these tall handlebars, these knuckle guards, an engine bash plate and a luggage rack at the back. Now, one of the most impressive things about this motorcycle is how the headlight looks. It uses the same design as the Gixxer 250, but somehow I never liked the design on the naked roadster, but I'm totally liking the way the headlight looks on this motorcycle. The ground clearance is 40 mm higher, while the saddle is 35 mm taller. The curb weight too has gone up by 6 kilograms than the naked roadster, and the V-Strom SX tips the scale at 167 kilograms. Lastly, Suzuki has tweaked the subframe to accommodate the long tail portion. All in all, the V-Strom SX is among the most stylish motorcycles in the quarter-liter segment of the Indian market, and it will grab attention wherever it goes. The appealing design of the Suzuki V-Strom SX is backed by the Japanese build quality, and thus you wouldn't find any uneven panel gaps on the motorcycle. The paint is of good quality, while the switchgear operate with an assuring click. Even the quality of parts like the engine bash plate and the luggage rack at the back is top-notch. Now, we didn't have any complaints in terms of the quality, but the only issue that we faced were the vibrations that were evident after 6,500 to 7,000 RPM. Suzuki has also made sure that the V-Strom SX gets better features than its rivals. Thus, this adventure tourer comes with an LED headlight, a single push engine starter button and Bluetooth connectivity. The Bluetooth connectivity brings features to turn-button navigation, notifications about calls, SMS and WhatsApp, and phone battery level indication on the display. The V-Strom also incorporates a USB charging port to recharge devices on the go. And then there's a standard equipment that the motorcycle comes with, and you don't have to worry about accessories after purchasing this motorcycle. Thus you get features such as this knuckle guard, the engine bash plate and the luggage rack at the back right from the showroom. The quality of the equipment is pretty good, and while we haven't dropped this motorcycle, we believe that these knuckle guards are good enough to take a tumble or two before they give up. The suspension setup is identical to the Gixxer 250, and thus the V-Strom SX packs a firm ride quality. This comes handy while riding enthusiastically. Sure, the 19-inch front wheel and the dual-purpose tires make it lazier than the Gixxer 250, still it feels sporty enough to have fun around twisty roads. But if you are looking for an absolute canyon carver, we would recommend going for the Gixxer 250 or the Gixxer 250 SF. The braking setup delivers a decent feedback, but similar to the Gixxer 250, it lacks the initial bite and thus it isn't very confidence-inspiring. The safety net is handled by dual-channel ABS and you cannot switch it off. The V-Strom SX uses the same 249cc oil-cooled 4-valve engine as the Gixxer 250. Linked to a 6-speed gearbox, the motor delivers 26.1 bhp and 22.2 Nm of peak torque. The motor starts to pull away cleanly from 4000 RPM and continues to build momentum even in the higher revs. The efficiency levels are commendable, and the V-Strom SX returned a fuel economy of slightly over 36 km to a litre during BikeWale's test runs. Add to that the 12-litre capacity of the fuel tank, and the V-Strom SX should deliver a range of over 430 kilometers between fuel stops. So those were the 5 things that we like about the new Suzuki V-Strom SX. Now we tell you 2 things that we don't. The firm suspension setup makes the V-Strom SX a treat at enthusiastic speeds and around the corners. Unfortunately, the Indian road conditions keep varying and you would not find well-laid tarmac everywhere. Thus, you would feel most of the undulations on the road. In comparison, the Royal Enfield Himalayan packs a plush suspension tuning that would filter most of the uneven surfaces and deliver a comfortable ride quality. There's a way around V-Strom SX's stiff ride quality, and you can tackle bad surfaces by standing on the foot pegs, but that's easier said than done. Why do you ask? Now, while the seated ergonomics are more upright than the Gixxer 250 thanks to this taller handlebar, tall riders would find it difficult to reach it when standing on the foot pegs. Now, at 5 feet 10 inches tall, I am having a little difficult time reaching the handlebar and I have to lean forward in order to grab it when standing on the foot pegs. The seat height, it's slightly on the taller side, but it's not too tall. But shorter riders, people who are shorter than 5 feet 5 inches or 5 feet 6 inches, they would have trouble reaching the ground and they would have to tiptoe the motorcycle around. At 2,14,000 rupees ex-showroom, the V-Strom SX battles in the same price range as the Royal Enfield Himalayan, which is the biggest issue for this Japanese adventure tourer. The Himalayan feels more comfortable on and off-road and it packs nearly similar performance. Furthermore, the V-Strom SX is nearly 40,000 more expensive than the Gixxer 250, and for that premium, it doesn't do many things that the Roadster already cannot. Standalone, the Suzuki V-Strom SX is a promising product that will keep you entertained in the city and out on the highway. The build quality is assuring, while the engine performance is sufficient to keep you engaged. On the downside though, the firm suspension setup on the motorcycle, the lack of braking performance and the pricing works against its favor. And it doesn't really justify the premium of 40,000 rupees that it carries over the Gixxer 250, which can do most of the things that the SX can. Moreover, the Royal Enfield Himalayan, which is a more versatile motorcycle, retails in a similar price range, which makes things more difficult for the V-Strom SX. So those were the 5 things that we like about the motorcycle and 2 that we did not. If you liked our video, do make sure that you share it with your friends. Like, comment and subscribe to our channel and click on the bell icon to stay notified every time we upload a new video. Till next time, this is Subil signing off.